kayo? Inaantok kayo? Sinong madaming nakain kaninang lunchtime? Lahat kasi inaantok. Okay? You know, I have been waiting for this day. Why? Because the last time that I asked all of us to do the Mommy D clap, I actually did it the wrong way. Okay? So I'll take this opportunity to awaken myself and to awaken all of us. Can we just all stand? Okay? And you know the drill. Let's all do the Mommy D clap. Okay? Can we do it? Is it okay? Okay? Can you please tell the person next to you, wag kang matulog. Okay? And then you reply, 5 hours na lang. Alright, so this is how we do the Mommy D clap, okay? We stamp our right foot 3 times, okay? 1, 2, 3. And then we clap 3 times, 1, 2, 3. And then we shout, very good, very good, very good. Okay, so that is what you call the Mommy D clap. Okay, do you know what very good means? Okay, it means very good. Okay, so are you ready? Are you ready? Okay, please take note that we are doing this because I feel so gloomy because of the weather. Okay, it's not because of you, it's for me. Okay, I'm that selfish. Okay, so are you ready? Okay, so 1, at a count of 3, we have to do the Mommy D clap. Okay, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Very good, very good, very good. Again. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Very good, very good, very good. Okay, can we all give ourselves a round of applause, please? And you may sit down. Can you feel the heat, Manila? Can you? Because it doesn't seem like you feel the heat, you know? For the past several months, I have been feeling so scared. For the past several months, I have been feeling so terrified. For the past several months, I have been feeling so uncomfortable, but in a good way. Now, can I ask you again? Can you feel the heat, Manila? I have been so terrified and scared for the past several months, okay, for 2 things. Number one is that Riway is being true to its words. When Riway says about its direction, it actually happens. It becomes a reality. Do you agree with me? Okay? For example, at the beginning, it all started with a vision. Philippines had its very own leadership training seminar. From Manila, we were able to bring it to Davao City. Last August 2018, I was also one of the speakers in Davao City. On that stage, Riway had a vision that for the next coming months, okay, after some time, there will be a leadership training seminar because of the efforts of all the distributors and advocates of Riway International, that this kind of training will be brought to Visayas. And lo and behold, it's happening right now. Because Manila LTS is just one of the 4 LTS which will be happening all over the Philippines. Can you please give that a round of applause? But something bigger, that is something scarier, no? We have always envisioned inside Riway International that from Southeast Asia, we will bring sooner or later Riway International, that we will sooner or later bring Portier Placenta to the rest of the world, specifically to the Western Hemisphere of the globe. Tama ba? And this LTS is not just happening in Asia. Because this month, we will hold the very first leadership training seminar in Europe. Pwede bang palakpakan natin yan? And I have been feeling so scared and terrified and uncomfortable. Why? Because after the LTS, what do you think is next? After the LTS, LRN. After the LRN, there will be a branch opening in Europe, in the US. Now, do you feel scared? Do you feel scared? O ako lang yun? You know, James, I would always remember James telling me that if you do not feel uncomfortable, then you have to be scared. And if you do not feel uncomfortable right now, all the more that you have to be scared. It's happening. It's all a matter of time. And you know what? Tonight, we are actually making history. You may not know it yet. But you know what? Tonight, we are making a history. Why? Because tonight, we are laying the foundation for Reway Philippines. And you all are part of that. Pwede bang palakpakan natin yan? So, Faith, what's the fuss about laying the foundation for the Philippines? Because I believe, and I want to share this vision with all of you, that the foundation of Europe, of US and Canada, and the rest of the world in the future, the foundation will not be Singapore. The foundation will not even be Indonesia or Taiwan. The foundation of the rest of the world in Reway International is Reway Philippines. Do you actually believe that? Ha, parang wala sa palakpak, wala sa tunog, okay? Do you actually believe that? So, I'm so scared because of that. The other reason why I have been feeling so scared is that wala nang tumatagal sa akin na katulong. Ate Karen has been with us for the past 8 years. And when I started to join Reway International, I made sure that I would increase her salary. Because I have been so busy traveling, I have been so busy working in Reway International that I wanted to give her the best. All the free travels abroad, the salary, the maximum salary, all the clothes, unused clothes, all the unused shoes, just so she wouldn't leave me and my kids. But then it happened. Last month, I think it for like 3 or 4 weeks now, Ate Karen has already resigned. And I believe that it's not because I'm a bad employer, because she has started doing Reway International full-time. This Ate Karen does not even have, a higher proper education, which means that she wasn't even able to finish her elementary. But what gives a nanny today the confidence to build business inside Reway International? What gives her a confidence that a nanny like her can actually influence other people to take Portier Placenta? What gives her a nanny like her the confidence that she would be able to make people take out 135,000 pesos from her pocket? Given that for the longest time, she has always been a nanny. Tama ba? Do you get me? And this nanny, si Ate Karen has been doing the business before she resigned. She has been doing the business part-time. So I have already shared this story several times. She would do the business part-time. Her job is to bring my kids to school and bring them back home, cook for them, feed them, and make sure that everything is okay at home. Now, this nanny, Ate Karen, whenever she goes to school, every break time or dismissal time, she would gather all the nannies in the school where my kids go to. My kids go to an international school, okay? She would gather all the nannies, okay? They would call each other Ter, okay? Ter, okay? She would tell the other nannies, okay, in Bisaya, alam mo ba, yung amo ko, kamat yun nun, kanserun. Tapos ngayon, buhay na siya, buhay pa siya. Okay, she would tell the nannies, alam mo ba yung amo ko, walang pampasweldo sa akin halos, pero ngayon milyonarya na. So, that every single time, she would gather all the nannies. So, Ter, naay buffet dito sa Mall of Asia. Okay, mangaon ta dito. And you know what? It has been so effective. Why? Please do not tell me that she was able to influence people because she knows scientifically how to explain Portier Placenta. She was able to influence other people by means of borrowing strength from the people who surrounded her. So right now, okay, this nanny was able to influence parents from the school where my kids go to. These parents are now taking Portier Placenta. In fact, some of them are doing the business full-time. And whenever I go to my kids' school, I don't have that much confidence anymore whenever I go to my kids' school. Why? Because the parents would flare at me. They would look at me like I have done something really, really bad. Why? Because few of these nannies, after 10 years of service, have now resigned and are doing Reway International full-time. Pwede bang palakpakan natin yan? Pwede bang palakpakan natin yan? What gives her the strength and the confidence today? It's not because faith is the sponsor. What gives her the strength and the confidence today? It's because she has laid down the foundation. Today, before she resigned and did Rewe International full-time, she has actually produced at least 5 Diamond Star Achievers on her first line. Pwede bang palakpakan natin yan? Pwede bang palakpakan natin yan? And in September LRN, by next month soon, she will go up the stage as minimum Diamond 1 star. Let's be frank with each other. Who among us, would actually dare to dream big for a nanny? Anyone here who has nannies at home, can I see your hands? Okay, there's a very good number of us who have nannies, right? Who among us would actually dare to dream big for our nannies? My question is, do you actually believe that after 10, 15 years of service, is there still a possibility that this nanny's life would change forever? If you are part of Rewe, definitely yes. But for some of us who have just came in, let's be honest with each other. No one among us will dare to dream big for our nannies. Tama ba? It's only inside Rewe International. It's only inside Rewe International. It's only inside Rewe International. So, foundation. The very reason why she's so confident right now, that despite of her designation in the past, she would still do good and even do big in Rewe because of her foundation. And I tell you right now, the whole time that we have been sitting here, we all have been talking about the foundation. And one thing is for sure, the moment I came inside Rewe International, this is the one thing that I have understood and clearly remembered. Rewe International is not about selling. Forget about selling today. Because no matter how good you are at selling, if we do not have the foundation, if we do not have the width and the depth of our business today, no matter how good we are, eventually our team will die. Do you agree with that? Before I proceed with foundation, I'd like to share another story with you. Last June, about 2 months ago, my daughter had her moving up day. So from El Nido, Palawan, I had to fly immediately to Manila to catch up with her moving up day. She's 8-year-old. She's now moving up to grade 2. So before we enter the building, my daughter, it seemed as if she was conditioning my mind. She was like, Mommy, do not be surprised. Everybody in the school knows you. This was just 2 months ago. So I asked her, Alec, tell me honestly, did you bring the magazine to school? Okay, the previous magazine, the one in December. Did you bring the magazine to school? Sabi niya, no. I think some of the teacher or some of the parents have actually heard about Rewe and have heard about you. So just be sure, Alec, ha? Okay, it's not nice to brag. It's not nice to boast. So when I went there inside, okay, we had the moving up day. After the whole program finished, she invited me. Mommy, I'd like to introduce you to my friends. Okay, so I said yes. We went to her friends. Okay, take note that this is an 8-year-old, a grade 1 student. She introduced me to her friends and told her friends, this is my mommy Faith. She is rich and famous, guys. I think my face went purple that very moment. Okay, purple kasi maitim tayo. So, hindi pwedeng mag-blush ng pink. I think my face turned purple at that time. Alec, don't do that. So, immediately, okay, I pulled her to the gate. Okay, and immediately asked the driver to pick us up because I have no face to show. It's so embarrassing. You know, hearing your daughter tell other people that my mother is rich and famous. Okay, with that face, my mother is rich and famous. It was like that. So I was at the gate, okay, waiting for the driver. Okay, I was thinking of a way on how to punish her because really, I really hate boasting. Okay, But before that, okay, before the driver came, we were, magkaharap kami. Okay, we were facing each other, my daughter and I. And then, after some time, she pointed at my back, no? She said, "Oh, mommy, okay, that is Rafa's mom," referring to the mom of her classmate. "That is Rafa's mom. She is also famous just like you. She's also rich and famous just like you." So I turned around, and I saw a group of mothers. And some of these mothers are actually TV actresses, okay? And they were all smiling at me and waving, and they were like, "Congratulations." At that moment, I was so confused. Why are they congratulating me? Is it because of the moving up day? Or is it because they heard my daughter say that I'm actually rich and famous? So I was really scared, no? When we got to the car, I was praying, how do I get to punish my daughter without actually hurting her? You know, because the one thing that my mother has taught me is to always humble down. And I do not know kung saan nakuha ng daughter ko yung pagiging mayabang niya. Okay, probably from her lola. Okay? So I was praying, no? I was praying, how? And then suddenly it struck me. Suddenly I cried. Why? I could not believe that my daughter is actually so proud of me. I asked myself, why am I so embarrassed that my daughter is so proud of me? When in fact, it is the very reason why I continue to do Riway International. That is to gain the respect and honor of not other people, but my family, most especially. I got struck and I got touched. Why? Because my daughter is so proud of me. I grew up hating my mother. Beth knows that. I grew up hating my mother. Why? Because there was no enough food on the table. I grew up hating my mother because she had no money to pay for school fees and tuition fee. Whenever there is an examination, I would always do the promissory note. Do you know the promissory note? If you know the promissory note, it means that at one point in your life, you didn't have money to pay tuition. So every single time that there would be an examination, I would always be at the promissory note line. I grew up hating my mother because there was always no enough money to buy this and that. I grew up hating my mother because there was always no enough food. I have hated my mother because even when I reached college, she would always scam me. Whenever I would go to the school, "Ma, alis na ako." She would say, "Okay, ihahabol ko lang yung baon mo." And then I would wait the whole day up until 7 or 8 p.m. She still hasn't came to bring me my baon. So I would always tell myself, scammer talaga tong nanay ko. I grew up like that. I grew up hating her. And I grew up disrespecting my mother. Why? Because I saw a lot of people disrespecting her as well. I saw a lot of people disrespect her because she had no money, because she had no designation in life. I saw a lot of people disrespecting her and kick us out of the house. There was so much hate and disrespect because we were in poverty, because we were in so much poverty. And I would always ask God, I do not ask for much. I just want a decent life. Why can't you give it to us? But you know, all this hatred turned into gratitude. My mother was telling us earlier that I was on the first on her list, that she saw I could be her potential partner. But then I said yes. I said no to her immediately without any thought. Why? Because I saw her fail all my life, over and over and over and over again. Why would I partner with a failure? And I don't know if you would be able to relate with me. Are you able to relate with me? O ako lang yung parang masamang anak. Alam niyo yun, okay? So, March of 2017, my name, which she used to bought her therapy, my name, because she kept on sharing per tier placenta day in and day out, my name was able to hit Diamond 1 star. And because I was able to hit Diamond One Star, okay, the company that time had to send all the star achievers to Taipei, Taiwan, March of 2017. To be honest, at the time, I did not even know what Portier placenta. All I know was that it was a stem cell product in a bottle. Okay, I did not even know how to reach Diamond One Star, but I went to Taiwan. Okay? Not because I was interested to listen, to see Riway International. I went there to escape because there was just so much depression in Manila at the time. My mother was dying, although she's claiming that she's able to recover slowly because of Portier placenta. I was totally jobless. I went to Taipei, Taiwan for the purpose of escaping. What did when my mother hit Diamond One Star, with Diamond One Star, she was able to earn 100,000 pesos, no, on the first few days of the month. That was March 2017. 100,000 a month. Sabi ko, at last finally, we have now cash to pay for the rent, cash to pay for the lights, cash to pay for the water, cash to pay for the school bus and all. But do you know what she did with the 100,000? When she got the 100,000 after the encashment, 100,000 pesos. First, she bought me a laptop, a MacBook which cost 80,000 pesos. She could have bought herself a new pair of underwear. Tama ba? Tama ba? Because I could not remember the last time that she actually bought herself a new pair of underwear. She could have simply bought herself an underwear, but no. 80,000. She bought me a brand new MacBook laptop. 10,000 pesos, she bought me 2 new pairs of corporate attire. And the other remaining 10,000, she bought me a brand new luggage to prepare me for Taipei, Taiwan. When I got to Taiwan, I was able to see the potential in Riway International. On that very night, on that single event, all the hate and all the disrespect turned into shame and turned into so much gratitude. Why? Because then on that single night, on that single day, I understood the love and sacrifice of my mother. That even after hitting her first 100,000, she did not bother thinking about herself. She invested 100% back into the business by giving me a laptop, a luggage, and a new pair of suits. On that very day, on that single event, I started to dream again. And right now, before I proceed, I'd like to once again thank my mother for not giving up on me. I was the first one to reject her. I was the first one to laugh at her. But she did not give up on me. When the rest of the world saw nothing in me, she saw nothing but potential in me. And we all are here inside Riway International, just like me. You are here because somebody saw the potential in you. Tama ba? Tama ba? Even if you are sitting here for the very first time, you are seated here because the person who invited you sees a lot of potential in you. Okay? Please don't get us wrong. You're not here because the person who invited you thinks that you can actually afford 135,000. Bear in mind that when Rex Bugcalaw, our direct sponsor, invited us in Riway International, he knew exactly that we could not afford 135,000 pesos. But thank you, Rex, because he was looking not on our purchasing capacity, but he was looking on our potential. And Riway International is exactly just like that. Riway International, when the moment you go inside Riway International, you will find a lot of professionals, you will find a lot of medical doctors, of lawyers, of huge businessmen. You will find a lot of McDonald's and Jollibee crew. But you will also find a lot of Grab and Uber drivers. You will also find a lot of nannies. Tama ba? But the moment we come inside Riway International, we all are now in an equal playing field. We all have now an equal opportunity to actually be successful in life. Before I proceed, why were you invited here? Because the person who invited us never gave up on us. Spent money on Mary Grace just to entice us. Tama ba? Diba? Entice you with buffet, pinamasahian tayo. Why? Because this person knows that whatever is compensating us right now, take note of this, whatever is compensating us right now is no match to the kind of compensation that Reway International can actually give us. Faith, ang yabang mo naman pakinggan. But do you actually agree? Do you actually agree? Whatever is compensating you right now is no match to the kind of compensation that Reway International can give us. Faith, why? Why? Explain. There are a lot of people outside earning millions and even billions. You know why? Because let's forget about money. Ate Karen, let's go back to my nanny. Ate Karen, all of my closest associates know Ate Karen. And you know what? Even if I am a Team Elite Pegasus 4 and Ate Karen is a nanny, the same amount of respect that my associates give me is the same amount of respect that they give Ate Karen. Why? Because Reway International, again, okay, inside here, we base our trust and confidence on the other person, not based on their talents, on their abilities, but based on how potential they are. And the truth is that all of us are very much potential people. All of us have built-in abilities to create wealth. Is it sinking? Is it sinking? Okay, tea break is coming, 3 more hours, okay? Laying the foundation. So I'm actually very excited to be here right now. I'm nervous, yes. I'm scared, yes. But I'm very excited. Why? Because I think I have enough to share. I have enough to share with all of us, not because I have been successful for the past 2 years and a half. I think I have enough to share. Why? Because over the past 2 years and a half of doing Reway International, I have made a lot of learnings. And learnings could come in many forms. Would you agree? Learnings could come in the form of OPP, grant testimonial, NDO, LTS. But I believe that the most important learnings come from mistakes and failures. I'm very excited to share with you this afternoon because I've had a good share of failures and mistakes over the past 2 years that I have been doing Reway International. And it's not because I am successful. So, Beth discussed earlier, the basic things that we need to be reminded of. These are the things that we actually have been doing, that what we actually have to do on a daily basis. Okay, so the first topic is how to achieve Team Elite Pegasus within 2 years. Okay, how? It's such a pressure on my part, you know. But you know what? You just have to listen tonight, even myself, no? Forget about the past 3 years that we have been doing Reway International, because tonight onwards, we are laying the foundation of our business. And my goal and your goal is to hit Team Elite Pegasus within the next 2 years. Is that a good goal? Is that a good goal? Is that a good goal? Okay, so how to reach Team Elite Pegasus, okay? Now, we have to start initially, okay? We have to be able to influence people, okay? To take per-tier placenta, and from then, we can start to show them the opportunities behind this product. So Beth discussed earlier the prospecting. So now we need to come up with the best top 15 to 20 people that we think, number 1, could benefit from per-tier placenta, and number 2, 15 to 20 people who we think we could potentially partner inside Reway International. So Faith, who can we potentially partner? 2 kinds of people. We have to be able to recognize those who are already in the industry, which means that people who are already in the field of network marketing, people already in the field of network building, people already in the field of sales. And the other type of people are people who have zero knowledge on network marketing but are very much willing to learn the business. Okay? So, 15 to 20 people, three kinds of people. Okay? Number one, who we think can benefit from Portier Placenta. Number two, people who are already in the industry. And third, people who may have zero knowledge on this kind of business but are very much willing to be taught. Okay? So from these 15 to 20 people, okay, we need to be able, okay, to establish, a kind of relationship with them. What kind of a relationship am I talking about? Bear in mind that if we want to be Team Elite Pegasus, what we are looking for are partners and not just simply consumers. Bear in mind that if you want to hit Team Elite Pegasus, you must aim not for sales, but you must aim for people who you could work with. Do you see the difference? Okay. So, to be able to get to know, we have to be able to identify the need of the people we are talking with. Why? Because we might be introduced to a person who's already dying, who has a very chronic disease, and then our introduction would be the marketing plan. Do you think this person would be enticed to take Portier Placenta? Of course not. Kasi inunahan mo na eh. Tama ba? Okay, if you want to hit Team Elite Pegasus, you have to understand clearly that Riway International does not just offer Portier Placenta. We have to understand that the goal when we talk to other people is not just simply to close the therapy. The goal is to make this person understand that after Portier Placenta, there's actually a lot more opportunity behind this product. We have to be able to send the message, okay, that Riway International does not just offer Portier Placenta. It offers beauty, it offers health, it offers money, it offers fulfillment, it offers so many things, right? But to be able to do that, you have to identify the need of the person we are talking with. Because if we keep on saying, introducing things to him or her, and are not relevant, do you think that person would be enticed to join us in the business? For example, if you meet a person and then you immediately talk about millions and millions and millions without knowing that this person owns already the whole of Metro Manila, do you think this person would be enticed to join you? Of course not. Of course not. So first, be able to identify the need of the person we are talking with. Okay, we have to be able to feel him, okay, to put ourselves in his own shoes. Okay, so we can do it in this form, in this method, which we call FORM. FORM stands for family, occupation, recreation, and money. Let's talk about family. How to make a lasting impression on the person we are talking with. One of, I believe, the most effective ways is not to tell this person the things that we have been accomplishing. Okay? One of the greatest things to create a long-lasting impression and to make friends with somebody is to keep on asking questions. Is to be what? It's to be curious about him. It's to find out who he is, what he does, and the family. Am I right? Because when you just meet a person and you just keep on telling about yourself, I tell you, this person won't have an interest in you. Tama ba? So first, ask the person about his family. Okay? Ask the person about his parents. Ask the person about the kids, probably. Or if this person does not have kids and family, you could ask him or her about his pets. Okay? So why family? For us to be able to identify the needs. Because when we know the needs, when we know what they prioritize in life, we would be able to relate a lot easier with them. Tama ba? If I am a mother and you would want to talk with me about Riway International, I will need you to touch on a mother's heart. Am I right? So talk about the kids. Talk about the future of the kids. Am I right? Are you still here? Okay. Next, okay, is the occupation or the career. Okay, so we try to ask, okay, so what have you been doing for the past 5 years, 10 years? Okay, try to find out what he does for a living. So when a person tells you that, oh, I am a teacher, I am an engineer, I am a lawyer, I am a doctor, okay, please do not tell that person, okay, never ever tell that person, oh, so you are an employee. Okay, you are somebody else's slave. Okay, you work and earn through salary. Okay, how do you think would this person feel? How do you think would this person feel? Okay, of course he would feel very bad. Okay, and he would become defensive. And I tell you, this person will never meet you again. Okay, because the first time you meet him, you don't have passive income. Okay, you have to resign ASAP and do Riway International. Okay, please don't do that. Okay, third one. Okay, but so ask for the occupation for the career. Okay, and try to juice something out. Okay, and try to praise the person. For example, okay, I do not like how I sound right now. Okay, okay. For example, you're talking with an engineer. Okay, wow, you're an engineer. Okay, we all know that being an engineer is very hard. Tama ba? And there are very few Filipino families who have actual engineers inside their families. Am I right? So, okay, so you try to praise the person. Oh, you must be very smart. You must be very creative. You must be doing really great because it's so hard to become an engineer. And you are one. How do you think would these people react when we praise them? Tendency, according to research, is that whenever we praise somebody, the tendency is that he or she will humble herself. When you tell another person, oh, you're so good, the initial response would be, oh, no, 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 I'm not. And not just that, this person will also feel more comfortable with us. For example, oh, you own a business. Okay, so you supply plastics, okay, in Metro Manila. You must be very rich. Okay? Actually, this person, okay, will start to feel comfortable and tell you things, okay, like how the business is doing. Tama ba? Like the person will start to confide in you. Actually, it used to be so great. But right now, there's a very huge campaign against plastic. So the business is kind of down right now. So now you have an idea that even though he or she is a business owner, you know that his business is not doing great. Tama ba? Okay, the third one is recreation. Find out what this person loves to do. Find out what this person is passionate about. Find out what this person does in his free time. Okay? Like, does he do basketball, bowling after work? What does he do whenever he is not at home and whenever he is not in the office? By means of knowing the recreation of this person, the entertainment, the spare time, the hobbies, you will find out exactly how big or small the network of this person is. Correct? Because if you find out that this person, okay, is house, office, house, office, house, office, then you will have an idea that this person doesn't have that much network. Right? But if he tells you that he's into this organization and that organization, we will have an idea on where to get our prospects. Okay. The last one would be M. It's quite sensitive. It's called money. Money. If there is one thing, okay, that Rex Bugalao has taught me up until today, whenever I see Rex Bugalao, I would always be reminded of that kind of leader, of that kind of network marketer who always sees past the purchasing capacity of the person. Tama ba? Ibig sabihin, Beth kept on reiterating earlier, when you share Portier Placenta or when you share Riway International, have no mercy. Which means that today, do not qualify that much the people you share the product with. Why? Because this person may be at his lowest point in his life right now. This person may not have the money at all to buy Portier Placenta, but because you dared to show him the opportunity, you might not know he or she could become the next Team Elite Pegasus of Freeway Philippines. So FORM. Okay, find out what exactly the needs is. Because when you don't the need, you know where to attack. You know how you would be able to relate to this person. So after the FORM, that is when you start to do the opportunity, and product presentation. Okay. The OPP is designed to be doable, which means that we Filipinos do not have to come from a medical field to be able to successfully do the OPP or successfully explain what Portier Placenta really is all about. Am I right? For example, Ate Karen, my nanny, she was not able to reach high school. How come that she has more sponsors than a lot of us today? Because she was able to share the product successfully the Riway way. Like what Zeda has been telling us earlier, we do not have to add so many things. Okay? The OPP booklet is the same business tool that Philippines is using. It's the same business tool that the whole Riway International is doing right now. Okay, is that good news? Is that good news? Which means that Team Elite Pegasus outside, what they are using is exactly the tool that is available in the Philippines right now. Okay? So, do the OPP. Now, when we do the OPP, okay, do not proceed straight to the first page, okay? And do not proceed first to the, you are dying, so you have to learn about Portier Placenta, okay? Start by doing some sort of an opening. Okay, normally, the beginning of an OPP starts by telling the person we're talking with a little bit about our story. And I have found out, okay, for the past 2 years, that it's really helpful to tell this person how you were able to get to know Portier Placenta. Okay? To earn this person's trust, okay? Now, tell the person, oh, I was able to meet Portier Placenta through this and that. My mother, okay, this is how I would normally do it because this is the truth. My mother started taking Portier, okay? I did not mind at all. All I know that she was able to recover, she was able to get better and better each day, okay? At first, I had really no interest in sharing or advocating the product. Why? Because I thought it was so expensive. When you say that you think Portier Placenta is so expensive, does this person normally agree with you? Yes. Yes. So you tell him things that he or she would be able to relate to. Okay? So you tell her how you get to know Portier Placenta, the initial response that you had, okay? The resistance that you had when you get to know Portier Placenta, and lastly, how were you able to overcome the resistance or the rejection that you have towards Riway International? Is it helpful? Is it helpful? So now, I would tell the person, I was able to go to Taipei, Taiwan. I was able to attend a lot of product presentations in Manila. And this is where I finally started to eventually understand what Portier Placenta is all about. So now, you give the person an idea that to be able to understand Portier Placenta, why is it so expensive and yet a lot of people are doing it, okay? You give him an idea by telling the other person what you have actually done upon meeting Portier Placenta. Are you still with me? Are you still with me? Okay, so that is the OPP. The purpose of the OPP is number one, to be able to influence the person to take Portier Placenta. Basically, the purpose is to be able to influence the person to take Portier Placenta. Why am I using the word influence? Because we are not selling. Okay? And I tell you as early as now, if you are coming in, please forget about selling. So the purpose is to influence this person to take Portier. Or if not, be able to influence this person to think about friends and family who could benefit from Portier Placenta. Because sometimes it may not be the person we're talking with, but sometimes he or she knows a lot of people who might be in need of the product. Okay? So after the OPP, okay, after all the building of relationship, getting to know, okay, according to what actually happens, 1/3 of these people will actually reject us. Of the 20 people that we have talked with initially, 1/3 of them will reject us. 1/3 of them will immediately say no. And you know what? I don't know if you would be able to relate with me, but this 1/3 is where our friends and family belong to. When we start doing Riway International, sometimes the very first people who would reject us is actually our friends, our family. And I will be honest with you, Today, I am at Team Elite Pegasus 4. Do I still meet a lot of rejections? I tell you, definitely yes. 100%. And where do I get this rejection? From my closest friends and family. Why? Because even if I stand here as a Team Elite Pegasus 4, what they would be reminded of is not who I am today, but of who I was in the past. My friends in Ateneo have always rejected me. Why? Because they do not know what Team Elite Pegasus 4 is. All they know is that I am Faith Ann, and all they know is that nangungutang ako sa kanila pambili ng gatas ng mga anak ko, nung baby pa yung mga anak ko. Sounds familiar? Okay, so sometimes the 1/3 who will reject us of the 20 people is our very own family because of too much familiarity. And because these people know exactly our mistakes and failures, that they're somehow not into the idea of partnering with us. Okay, now, 1/3 of these 20 people will also say, maybe, I'll wait, I will see. These are the people who will tell us, magpayaman ka muna, saka ako sasama sa'yo. Okay, familiar? Familiar? Yumaman ka muna bago ko sumama sa'yo. Okay? 1/3 of these people will tell you, magpaganda ka muna, okay, bago ko sumama sa'yo. Okay, tama ba? Tama ba? You know, when I started taking Portier Placenta, you know, why I was so, I wanted to take Portier Placenta badly. Why? Because a lot of people were telling me that I was just the age of my mother. And it hurt me so badly because I am just half of her age. Okay? So a lot of people will reject us. Why? Because they want to see you succeed first. After you succeed, that's the only time that they will go with you. Tama ba? That is why, let us be grateful to the people who are partnering with us right now, even though we're not yet there. Okay? And if you have been invited here tonight, okay, I'm talking to you. If the person who invited you is not yet a star achiever, is not on the stage yet, is not here in front yet, it's okay. You know why? Because this person, it's just a matter of time that this person will also become successful. And you are invited here tonight. Number one, because the person who invited us sees a lot of potential in us. But number two, and this is more important, you have been invited here tonight because the person who invited you wants to share this opportunity with you. This person is working on his success right now. And you are here because this person wants to share that success with you. Tama ba? Tama ba? Okay? So, it doesn't matter. You know, I would always tell myself, I would always remind people, believe and you will see. Believe so you will see. The negative thing about a lot of us, including myself sometimes, is that we keep on waiting to see something concrete first, and that's the only time that we believe. And sometimes, by the time that we see a lot of results, sometimes it's already too late. So now, if you are that person and you are part of the 1/3 saying, wait and I'll see, please do not regret this very day. Because this very day, we are establishing the foundation of Freeway International in the whole world. Now, 1/3 of the 20 people we initially talk with, 1/3 of them will say yes to us. Okay. Now, so this is your structure now. Okay. You, and then 1/3 of 20 is about 6 people. So now you have A1, A2, A3, A4, A5, and A6. Because you have been successful at establishing the need, you have been successful at doing the OPP. So now you have 6 people with you. After the 6 people, what do we do next? Okay, after the 6 people, we are now millionaires. Okay, is that right? Is that right? A lot of people would think that after closing deals, okay, and then after closing deals, they still fail, and then they blame the upline. Sabi mo, yayaman ako. Okay, parang hindi naman, because you stopped. You stopped. Closing, influencing people to take Portier Placenta is just the beginning. Okay? Can you tell the person next to you, Portier Placenta is just the beginning. Okay. What happens next, okay, is that, okay, after we have successfully built a weed, okay, ibig sabihin yung pahaba. Okay, can you say the word pahaba? Okay, now we will have to build depth. Okay, pagkatapos natin gumawa ng pahaba, ngayon naman, ibibuild natin siya ng mataba. Okay, para mas madaling maintindihan. Okay, now we have to build width and depth. Okay, Faith, why just 6 people? Why just 6 people? You can. You may. Okay, you may sponsor 10, 20, 50 people. But I tell you, by the time that you have closed the deal on the 50th person, the moment you go back to the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 until 49, they're all gone. Why? Because we cannot manage that much people. So start with at least 6 people. Okay? 6 because it's doable, it's manageable. Plus first, initially, we still have to equip on ourselves, right? So after that, you have now the 6 people. Now, build depth. Okay? Can you say the word depth? Okay. Depth. Pailalim. Dig in. You know, a lot of the first generation, okay, I don't know if you would be able to relate with me, but actually there's a good number of directs of our frontliners who are actually not active in the business. Is that right? Okay? So now, the next step is to squeeze the person out. Meaning, we have to dig deep. Because it's not enough that he or she is taking the product, okay? We try to find somebody down him, okay, or somebody down her who could be our partner. So for example, okay, A3. Okay, A3. We do the prospecting with A3. So we do the same things that we have personally done. Okay. Now, A3, okay, let us list down your prospects. Okay, 15 to 20 people. Okay. You have to be able to help the person actually list down all the prospects. Okay, for example, give me your phone. Okay, you have 1,000 contact list there. Okay, give me at least 15 to 20 people. Okay, so now, okay, now we help A3, okay, be able to get her first sponsor. Okay, immediately after he or she signs up, we have to be able to immediately help A3 to direct another person. Okay, initially, we will have to do things, okay, on her behalf, on his behalf. Okay? Kasi kapapasok niya lang eh. Do not expect him to do Portier Placenta, the presentation, right away. Remember, as leaders, kinahanglan, sa Bisaya pa, mangunay ta. As leaders, we have to do things first. Tayo muna before all the other people. We have to be able to assume the responsibility. So after the prospecting, we do the presentation. Finally, after a couple of presentations, okay, A3 is now successfully able to sponsor another person by the name of B. Okay. Most of the time, I have been guilty of this in the past. When there is already a B, now we leave A and B on their own. Have we actually done that? We leave them on their own. Like, oh, A and B, okay, you now are partners, I can now go to the next line. You're on your own. A3, you be the one, or you be the responsible one to mentor B. Is that right? Is that right? The answer is definitely not. We cannot do that. Why? Because remember that A3 has just came into the business. Especially B. So we have to be doing the things for them. So we have to do the presentation for them. Okay, but after some time, ideally after 5 to 6 times of product presentation, we nice A3 or B, okay, we ask them nicely, hey, A3B, can you do the presentation next time around? We ask them nicely. We do not command, okay? So ask them. So now, A3 and B, okay, will be encouraged to do the presentation. Now, who among us here, you have already been doing your own OPP? Okay, can I see the hands of those people who are doing your own OPP? Okay, pakitaas, kasi malay nyo may prize. Okay, charot lang. Okay, those who are doing already, okay. I want you to try to remember the very first OPP that you had. Okay, and describe it in one word. How was it? How was it? Huh? How was it? Devastating. Tama ba? Am I right? Because, normally, nobody does it perfect at the very first time. Am I right? Am I right? So do not expect anything from A3 and B. Normally, on the first, on the second, on the third time, it will be a disaster. Diba? Normally, on the first, second, third time, people would fall asleep while they are talking. Tama ba? Or sometimes they would blurt out some words which are not really part of the presentation. Most of the time, it will not be good for sure. Am I right? Okay? But it doesn't matter if it was good or bad. It doesn't matter if A3 and B were able to close the deal. What matters is that we have to feel our direct sponsor. We have to make them feel, okay, we have to make them want to do the presentation one more time. So what matters is not if the person was able to close the deal. What matters is what you as the upline tell this person. After A3 does the presentation or B does the presentation, you have to make sure that no matter how devastating the presentation is, you have to pretend that he actually did it perfectly. Okay? Why? Okay, you have to be able to tell the person, hey, A3, you know what? Among all the first-timers that I have seen, you have done it the most perfect way. Miss Gidili, good. Okay? We have done it the most perfect way. Why? Because our goal is to be able to find the leader in him. Which means that on the first, second time, it won't be good. But is it going to be better if this person does it on the fifth, on the sixth time, on the 10th time? Is it going to be better? 100% yes. So the goal is not to see perfection on the very first presentation. The goal is to make this person want to do the presentation one more. One more time. 2 more times. 3 more times. Okay, is that clear? Okay, do not ever reject the person. Okay, do not ever say that, hey, A3B, what have you done? Okay, what have you been doing? You did not learn from me at all. Okay? So, you know what? I won't allow you to do the presentation anymore ever again. From today onwards, it's just going to be me, because I'm better at you. Well, you can do that, right? We can do that. Be the presenter 100% all the time. But then if we do that, we will never be able to duplicate ourselves and we will never be able to become Team Elite Pegasus. Because basically, Team Elite Pegasus is a matter of duplication. Okay, are we clear? Okay, so after A3, now we found B. Now B was able to do the presentation. Now we have C1 and C2 under B. Okay, so we have to do the prospecting, we have to do the presentation, we have to do the follow-up again and again and again, repeatedly. Why? Because we have to dig deep to be able to find the leaders. Because most of the time, the leaders are not on the first level. They may not be on the second level. They may not be on the third level. They may not be on the fourth level. Sometimes, okay, they could be on the fifth or sixth or seventh level. On the fourth level, on the fifth level, now you will find your leaders. Okay, can you say the word leaders? Okay. Now, after doing so many presentations and follow-ups, okay, now you have equipped yourself and now you are ready for a leader. This person, okay, this person will be unlike A, unlike B, unlike C. Why? Because this person is now a leader potential. Number one, this person is more than willing to be taught. Okay? This person is ready, knows, okay, to empty his cup. Okay, can you say the word empty your cup? Okay, can you tell the person next to you, empty your cup? Okay, when we say you have to empty your cup, we're not saying that you have to neglect all the education that you had in the past. What we are saying when we say that we have to empty our cup, it only means that we have to 100% submit ourselves to Riway system. Is that so? Is that so? So now, after repeatedly doing all these things, now we find D, we find E, and we find F. These people are unlike the uplines. These people are so hot. These people are so crazy about actually becoming successful. These people are so crazy about assuming responsibilities. These people, D, E, and F, are, I'm pointing at the screen, D, E, and F are our leaders. Faith, is there really such a thing? If you dig deep, it's hard, sometimes it may take long, but actually yes. You will find your leaders if you keep on digging. Can you please remind the person next to you, keep on digging. Okay, so now, after you have done it on A3, now you just duplicate the very same thing that you did on A3. So now A1 will also have its own B, C, D, and F. A2 will now have its own B, C, D, and F. A4 will now have its own B, C, D, E, F. A5 will now has its own B, C, D, E, F. A6 will now has its own D, E, and F. Without you even knowing it, if we are able to establish at least 3 people in each line, okay, take note of that. If we are able to establish at least 3 people in each line who knows how to do the OPP and how to do the NDO, okay, confirmed, okay, this leg is less likely to die. Now that you have duplicated it on the other legs, without you even knowing it, because you have 6 lines, okay, now you would become Team Elite Phoenix. Is that so? Am I right? Okay, so now, without you even knowing it, without you even noticing it, from the few people that you have, because you are repeatedly doing things, okay, the NDO, the OPP, without you even knowing it, now you will have hundreds under your team. Now you will have thousands under your team. Am I right? Let us say you were able to accomplish this. A, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Let us say you were able to accomplish 6 people. You were able to establish solid lines, 6 solid lines in a span of 12 months. My question is, do you think you will still need another 12 months to establish another 6 lines? Yes or no? No. Because now you know how to do it. Now you know how to do it effectively and easier and faster. So the next time that you do it, 5, 6 more lines, you will need less than 12 months. And if you have 12, 13 lines to be exact, you are Team Elite Pegasus. Okay, is it clear so far? Is it clear? Okay, so these people D, E, and F. Okay. These are the people who will make us Team Elite Pegasus. These are the very leaders who will make us, who will turn us into millionaires inside Riway International. Why? Because these people are so passionate, are so crazy. They are ready to assume responsibilities. They are success-driven. They are goal-oriented, just like you. Just like you. These people, D, E, and F, are so goal-oriented, they are so success-driven, that even the sleeping uplines, these 3 people will now be able to inspire and challenge the sleeping uplines to start acting on the business. Okay, sounds familiar? Sounds familiar? When I went to Taipei, Taiwan, March of 2017, okay, I was already a 1-star, but like I've said, I do not know exactly what 1-star means. At that time, Jeddah and Lindeloo were already Diamond 2-stars, fighting for Diamond 3-star on that same month. They were so aggressive. I saw nothing but they were so aggressive. They were so passionate. They were so sure about what they were doing. And that's what actually stirred me to get to know Riway International. So to be honest, I was one of the sleeping uplines, Jeddah and Lindeloo, were the D, E, and F. Is that good? Is that good? Okay. So, Team Elite Pegasus. Ultimately, if you are part of Freeway International, the ultimate goal, the ultimate dream is to become a Team Elite Pegasus. Okay, let's be honest. Who among us here nangangarap tayo maging Team Elite Pegasus? Okay, I see very few hands. Who among us here? Okay, you have to raise your hand if you want it. Why? Because somebody is watching. Somebody is watching. Okay? Okay, put your hands down now. Somebody is watching. Do you actually believe that you can hit Team Elite Pegasus? You know, I want to share another story. It was June when the magazine was released, okay? The magazine with the cover of the 13 Team Elite Pegasus. Sometime in May, okay, James all the way from Manila flew to Iloilo. I was in Iloilo at that time. And no, before that, one very random day, okay? One very random day, my daughter came up to me. She said, "Mommy, can I be on Reway magazine?" I immediately told her, "Alec, no. Reway will not put you on the magazine for no reason. You have to be able to do good in the business. That is the time that Reway will put you on the magazine. That is why all the Diamond 1 star and above are in the magazine." Am I right? Okay? Can I see the hand of the star achievers inside this room? Okay? Because you all are inside the magazine. Tama ba? Okay. So my daughter asked me. So she asked me back, okay? So mommy, when can I be on the magazine? I told her, you wait until you reach 18 because you have to be an adult to start Reway. And when you reach 18 and start to do Reway, make sure that you do really, really good. Then Reway will put you on the magazine. 7 days after, James called up and flew to Iloilo. I was in Iloilo at that time and asked me, "Faith, can I put you and your kids on the magazine?" Do you see the message? My daughter, as innocent as she is, was asking me if she could be on the magazine. And I was reminded, 7 days after, her wish came true. Her dream of being on the magazine came true. It's not about her being on the magazine. I was reminded, how many of us actually believe on the things that we commit to? How many of us actually believe that at the end of this journey, we will hit Team Elite Pegasus? Because it's a lot easy to say than to actually have faith that it will come true. Tama ba? Sometimes we have all the necessary skills and talents. But my question to you, examine your hearts right now. Do you actually have faith that by the end of this journey, you will hit Team Elite Pegasus? Just like how my daughter actually believed that she would be on the magazine someday. So you know what? After the gala dinner, we all were able to secure our own copies, right? I was so excited to go home at that time. I was so excited to show my daughter the page, okay, where her face was. And you know what? I actually even started a video because I wanted to record her expression, no, upon seeing the magazine. But then I had to delete the video. You know why? Ask me why. Because upon showing her the magazine, she asked, "Mommy, I wanted to be on the magazine solo, not with you." So I really, please, I'm really trying to work hard on it, okay? Talagang nagmana lang siya sa lola niya, okay? How many of us are actually believing on these things? Because you know, no matter how skillful we are, no matter how talented we are, at the end of the day, it has a lot to do with the kind of believing that we have. Ate Karen, going back to my nanny, she is so confident of what Reway International can actually offer her. Even if she does not have the talent and the skills yet. Tama ba? She doesn't have it yet, but she's very much confident to do Reway today because of her believing. And I cannot not let her go. Because inside Reway International is a place that turns dreams into realities. I'd like to share a story with you. Okay, I'd like to share a story with you. But first, before I share the story, I need you, okay, you all have pens and papers, right? You all have pens and papers, okay? In 30 counts, okay? I need you to think of your dream, of your goal, of your vision inside Riway International. It could be your house with an elevator. Okay, I will not put an elevator inside my house. Why? Because I will not lose weight. Okay? It's okay with Jeddah because she's sexy. Okay, it has to be all stairs inside my house. Okay, it could be your own Rolls Royce. Okay, but if you drive a Rolls Royce, remember it's for uncles and titas. Okay, you don't want to be called an uncle or a tita. Okay, so it has to be a sports car. So it depends on you. Okay? You could put their Team Elite Pegasus. Okay. You could put there, your dream is to be able to bring your whole family inside Riway. And my 30 count starts now. 1, 2, 3. Some people do not have dreams. 4, 5, 6. Wag essay, keywords lang. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Are you writing your dreams? 13, 14. Ang titigas ng ulo ng iba, ayaw talaga. Remember, somebody is watching. 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29. Okay? By 30, you have to be able to raise your paper. Okay? 30. Okay, thank you so much for those dreams. Pwede bang palakpakan natin yung mga sarili natin? Do you have your dreams with you right now? Is it there? Is it there? Things that you have been praying for. Things that you have been believing for. Do you have it right now with you? I'd like to share a story with you. Okay, it's the story of this guy named Monty Roberts. Okay, anyone here who knows Monty Roberts? Okay, anyone who knows the story of Monty Roberts? Okay, don't Google, okay? Hold on to your dreams, hold on to your papers. I need you to hold on to them right now. Are you holding it? Are you holding it? As I share this story, I need you to hold on to your paper. Kapag binitawan niyo yung papel niyo, walang merienda, charot lang, okay? Hold on to it. I'd like to share the story of Monty Roberts. Monty Roberts grew up in a family, his dad was a horse trainer. If there was such a thing as a dog whisperer, his father was a horse whisperer. So the job of his father was to train horses, okay? Championship horses as we call them. So Monty Roberts and his family, they would always transfer from one place to another. Why? Because his father worked for several stables. So he would train a lot of horses from various parts of the U.S., okay, of the U.S., of America. So from one place to another, from one stable to another, okay, what's the other term for stable? Farm. Okay, from one stable to another. So Monty Roberts grew up seeing his father train horses. And his father was so good at it. His father was so passionate about it. His father was so happy with what he was doing. Okay? Now, until such time that Monty Roberts reached senior high school. Okay, one day, the teacher gave them a task. Okay, class, I need you, okay, to write your dreams, your goals, and your aspirations. Do it in an essay form. Without hesitation that night, Monty Roberts wrote a 7-page paper, okay, on his dreams. And his dream was to become a horse trainer just like his father. But unlike his father who did not own any farm, who did not own any stable, Monty Roberts, umabot ng 7 pages yung dream niya. You know why? Because it was so detailed. On those 7 pages, he wrote and he drew about owning his own stable and all the details and specifications. So he wrote there exactly how many horses he would earn, exactly how many fences, how high the fences would be. He drew there exactly how many buildings there would be inside the farm, and he drew there a very, very big mansion in the middle of this farm. Okay? So without any hesitation, 7 pages. Okay? And then the following day, he proudly submitted it to the teacher. Okay, what did he want to own? His own farm, his own stable, with a very big mansion in the middle of the stable. The following day, the teacher gave back the papers. And Monty Roberts got an F. Okay, what does F mean? What does F mean? Failure. He failed. So disheartened, Monty Roberts went back home that night and asked his father, "Father, what is wrong with my dream? What is wrong with my dream?" Can you ask the person next to you, what is wrong with my dream? What is wrong with my dream? Anyone here na nangangarap yumaman? Can I see the hands? Anyone na nangangarap yumaman? Madaming takot yumaman. Salamat dun sa mga nangangarap mayaman. Okay? Yumaman. What is wrong with my dream, Father? Why did I get an F? My dream is so detailed. It's what I want. The father said, there is nothing wrong with your dream. But, if you really want this dream, you have to decide and you have to keep it and you have to fight for it if it's really what you want in life. So the following day, before the teacher asked him to rewrite his dream, the teacher told him, "Monty Roberts, I need you to rewrite your dream and come back to me." So when he came back, you know what? Monty Roberts gave exactly the same 7 pages that he first submitted to the teacher. And when the teacher saw it, the teacher said, "Monty Roberts, ang tigas ng ulo mo, napaka-ambisyoso mo. Okay? I do not see any changes in your dreams, in your aspirations. Teacher, that's what I want. I want to own my own mansion with stables, with lots of horses, because I want to be a horse trainer." And then the teacher said, "For a boy like you, who is poor, for a boy like you, who does not come from a rich family, for a boy like you, who is not that talented, your dream is very impossible." Can you please tell the next person to you, your dream is very impossible. It's too impossible. Now, I need you to look at your papers again. I need you to look at that papers again. Your dreams are impossible. No, I am the one telling you, your dreams are impossible. Your dreams are impossible. Your dreams are impossible. Thank you to the very first few people who responded no. So the teacher said, okay, Monty, I will still give you an F. It will not change. You keep your ill dreams with you, but I will keep my F. Your dreams will always be an F. Several years later, okay, a school had a tour, okay, in a farm, in a very huge stable. Inside the stable was a very huge mansion. And on that mansion, okay, a picture of a house was hanging. Okay, and the teacher, he was looking at the picture hanging on the wall. And she was like, "This picture looks so familiar. I have seen this drawing of a mansion before." And the teacher found out that the stable, that the mansion was actually owned by Monty Roberts, who now owns hectares and hectares of lands, who now owns lots and lots of horses, who is now very successful. This is actually a real story. You can Google it. Now, everybody, okay, are you listening? Are you still with me? Okay, tea break is about to come in 1 more hour. Just like Monty Roberts, we will all have our own dream stealers. Would you agree? A lot of people and even circumstances will be just like the teacher of Monty Roberts. A lot of people and circumstances and situations will tell you, wala ka ng pag-asa sa buhay. Tama ba? A lot of people will tell you, that won't happen. Impossible. Team Elite Pegasus, you cannot do that. Team Elite Pavo, you cannot do that. Diamond One Star, you cannot do that. House and lot with a swimming pool, you cannot do that. Rolls Royce, you cannot do that. A lot of people and circumstances and situations will tell us that it is impossible to realize our dreams. The circumstances of my brother taught him that he is useless. All his life, my brother thinks that he is useless because of his disabilities. But because of Freeway International, his disabilities are now gone, and my brother is starting to have a dream. And it's the same way with all of us. Before I end my presentation, I'd like to ask you one thing. Hold on to your dreams. Okay, can I see you holding on to your papers again? Hold on to your dreams. Keep your dreams regardless of what people tell you. Can we do that? Keep your dreams, protect your dreams, regardless of what your circumstances tell you right now. Okay? Can we do that? Protect your dreams and fight for your dreams, even when people tell you that it cannot be done. Can we do that? Protect your dreams and fight for your dreams, even when your savings account is zero balance right now. Can we do that? Protect and fight for your dreams. Okay? Even when people have been rejecting you for 1 year now. Can we do that? Can we do that? Okay? Protect and fight for your dreams even when you are so sick right now. Protect and fight for your dreams even when you're so tired right now. Because you will never fail if you do not quit inside Freeway International. So long as you do not quit, so long as you keep on doing things again and again and again, you will be so good at it that one day, without you even knowing it, you are already part of the top leaders, not just of Freeway Philippines, but you are part of the top leaders of the entire Freeway International. So hold on to your dreams. Can we do that? Protect it. Protect it from the dream stealers. Protect it from people who tell you that you cannot. Because people who tell you that you cannot are the people who cannot do it themselves. Fight for your dreams. Why? Because if you give up on your dreams, you are giving up on your family. You are giving up on the next generation. You are giving up on your future. Fight for your dreams because no one else will. And fight for your dreams, why? Because Freeway International is not just an MLM company. Freeway International is a place that turns dreams into realities. Can you tell the person next to you? Freeway turns dreams into realities. Kaya nga, si Rex Bugcalaw ngayon has a 15 million worth of house and lot in Davao City. Kaya nga, yung dating taxi driver owns now 10 cars. Kaya nga si Jeddah has just bought a Mercedes-Benz S-Class. Kaya nga, ang mag-asawa na dating nagbebenta ng DVD, Dayan Jemaang and William, okay, are now one of the top leaders of Freeway International. And they own a house and car, not just in the Philippines. They own one in Japan, and they own one in Singapore. Keep your dream, protect your dream, and fight for your dream. Because inside Freeway International, that is what Freeway exactly does. It will turn your dreams into reality. Believe me. Because I myself, like all the leaders here in front, my dreams have turned into reality. Do not underestimate the power of the person seated next to you, no matter how small he or she may be right now. Can we do that? Because nobody ever thought that the first ever Team Elite Pegasus Filipino of the Philippines would be a 26-year-old single mother with a dying mother. Riway International, just like all the people seated here in front, has also turned my dreams into reality. Okay? Okay, last June, I have always dreamt of a vacation. You know, yung a vacation that you wouldn't worry about a thing, about how much it's going to cost, the number of days that you will spend there. And you know what? This dream has turned into reality because just last month of June, I was able to bring not just my family, I was able to bring the top leaders of the team which I belong to one of the most expensive resorts in El Nido, Palawan. And that is the Ayala El Nido Resorts. So those are the top. Can we all give a hand to the team, to this team, please? I'd like to really utilize this opportunity to thank all those who belong to Team Kayumangi. Why? I am who I am today for two reasons. Number one, my mother who did not ever give up on me. And I am who I am today because of the team who brings out the best in me. And that is the Team Kayumangi. So that is the Team Kayumangi. I don't want to say figures, but it's a dream come true. It was a 3-day vacation in El Nido, Palawan. It was a 3 million 3-day vacation in El Nido, Palawan for about 40 people. Can we all give that a hand, please? Can we all give that a hand? Because that is how good Riway International is. My dreams are now turning into reality. Before, I already shared this that my very first goal when I started to do Riway International was really to own our own house. Because I grew up transferring from one place to another. Kabisado ko po ang buong Kamaynilaan. Sa totoo lang. Even Laguna, San Pedro, Binyan, Pasita, I know Metro Manila. Why? Because whenever we would get kicked out of the house, we would transfer to another place where nobody knows us. And then another place where nobody knows us. Because my mother did not have a stable job and she was a single mother. That's why I hated my mother. I've always hated her. But because of Riway International, after almost 3 decades of being kicked out of the house, we now own our own house in Acacia Estates. Pwede bang palakpakan natin yan? Please do not get me wrong. I am not boasting this house. Because I do not know if you own a 50 million peso house or if you own the whole of Taguig City. I am boasting you this. Why? Because even if I work 50, 60 years outside, nobody, no employer can give me this house, but only Riway International. This house is not 3 years in the making. This house is almost 30 years in the making. It's just that it was made into reality because of Riway International. Riway International, and sa lahat po ng bumubuo, to our General Manager James Strong, to Mr. Lim Bunhong, the staff, and the rest of the business development, thank you so much for being part of our lives today. Pwede bang palakpakan natin yung kumpanya natin ngayon? We all have our dreams, right? Aside from the house, actually, I have a very simple dream of becoming a full-time mother. I'm becoming the dream of becoming a full-time mother. Why? Because I grew up not having my mother beside me. At the very early age of 8, 9, or 10, my mother would always leave me in the house, left alone with my 2 brothers. I became a very early mother. She would always be out of the house. Sometimes she would not go home for straight 1 week, straight 2 weeks, straight 1 month, looking for money to feed us. You know, people would always knock on our doors, where is Beth? Where is Beth? Magbayad na siya ng utang niya. That's how I grew up. So I've always dreamed of becoming a full-time mom because I do not want to make my kids feel unloved and unimportant. But becoming a full-time mom while you are a single mother is very impossible. To become a full-time mom and at the same time a single mother, you have to have millions of savings in the bank. And ladies and gentlemen, for almost a month now, not even one nanny in our home. Today, I am a full-time single mom. A full-time mom. These are my kids, Alec, 8, and Abe, 6-year-old. One day, Alec asked me, told me, Mommy, I want to do Riway International when I grow up. You know, in this kind of age, there is only 1 in 1 million kids who will tell us that they want to be network marketers when they grow up. No one among our kids will tell us that they want to do networking when they grow up. Tama ba? Is that right? But my kids, as early as now, they are dreaming of becoming distributors, advocates of Freeway International. Why? Please don't get me wrong. It's not because I have more money to feed them now. It's not because I have more money to secure them now. My kids want to be part of Freeway International because they see the kind of environment and the kind of culture that we have inside Freeway International. So I asked my daughter, Alec, what do you think do we do inside Freeway International? Listen, I need you to listen. What do you think do we do inside Freeway International? And this is how an 8-year-old views a distributor today. If you are part of Freeway International, Mommy, you are trying to save the world. You are trying to save the world. Can you please tell the person next to you, you are trying to save the world? I laughed at it. I laughed at it, honestly. Alec, why try to save the world? We're only doing business in the Philippines. Because diba you said, now it's Philippines, but later on, it's the US. Because diba you said, now it's Philippines, but later on, London and Europe. Do you get me? Do you get me? This is how an innocent 8-year-old looks at us right now. And when I said earlier that whatever is compensating you right now is no much the kind of compensation that Freeway International is giving, forget about money. Forget about money. I am referring, if you are that person and you are not coming from a wealthy generation, you are not coming from a rich family. Because of Freeway International, even if you are 60-year-old right now, because of Freeway, you will be the first wealthy generation of your whole family. Can I say that again? Because of Freeway International, we are the first wealthy generation of our family. This generation, because we are inside Freeway International, the bondage of poverty now ends today. Are you with me? Parang ayaw nyo. Are you with me? The bondage of poverty ends now in this generation because of Freeway International. So my kids, I'm looking at my kids, and this is no longer the generation that I have been. This is the next generation, a wealthier generation. But most importantly, today, whenever I ask my kids, Alec, Abe, what do you want? They would say they want to be an artist, they want to be a chef. This is the next generation who will decide on their future careers, not so they could help their family financially. Do you get me? They will decide on their careers, they will pursue what they love. They won't be afraid to pursue what they love. They won't be afraid to pursue what they're passionate about. Because this is a generation that is not concerned about feeding their families. Because this is a Freeway generation. My kids are growing up that I don't have to dictate them. You study well so you could work when you graduate. You study well so you could earn 20,000 when you grow up. You study well so you could be an employee. This is a generation that is no longer afraid to do what they're passionate about. Because they are secure, because they are part of Freeway International. Pwede bang palakpakan natin yan? You know what? If I were to share any secret with you, okay, from the prospecting to the closing of deals to how to treat our downlines, if there is one thing, if there is one thing that I would want to tell you right now, it is to never give the luxury of attention to your enemies. Never give the luxury of attention to your enemies. And when I say enemies, that is the person telling you that you cannot do it. When I say enemies, that is your procrastination. When I say enemies, that is your fears and doubts. When I say enemies, okay, that is your disbelief in the system. I want to share another dream and vision with all of you. Can we share it? Can I share it with you? Can I share it with you? The house, the car, the family, my kids. This is the bigger, this is the bigger vision and goal that I want to share with you right now. Please always choose to believe that the glory that will unfold before us in the next coming years will be a lot bigger than your circumstances right now. Ulitin ko po please always choose to believe that the glory and success that will unfold in the future is a lot bigger than your present circumstances right now. And this is the bigger dream that I want to share with the 110 million Filipinos right now. That it is the Philippines and no other than any other market but the Riway Philippines who will bring Portier Placenta to the rest of the world. So, if you have been part of the network marketing industry, normally we would always talk about our uplines, right? Our uplines in the US. We would always talk about our uplines owning their own yachts, owning their own islands, owning their own airplanes in the US. Am I right? But right now, I would want to share this vision and goal with you. That in the next coming years, anytime soon, no, it's all a matter of time. This is the next vision that I would want to share with you. That in the near future, we, the Filipinos, will not talk about our American uplines. In the next time, it will be our Westerners downlines talking about their Filipino uplines. Oh, okay. Ay, wala ka sa upline ko si Jeddah, may-ari ng island. Okay. Ay, wala ka sa upline ko si Rex Bugalaw, may-ari ng dagat. Ay, wala ka sa upline ko si Beth Montero, may-ari ng yate. Ay, wala ka sa upline ko si Faith Cardosa, may-ari ng eroplano. And this is the dream that I want to share with you tonight. But first, we have to all agree that to be able to turn this dream into reality, we have to have a solid foundation. That no matter what comes our way, we will always be bigger than the problems and the challenges. So hold on to your dreams, protect your dreams, and fight for your dreams. See you at the top, Riway Philippines. Salamat po.